Yo, what's up? It's your boy Leak with the Campaign, and I'm a part of the inspiring series of the DMV by Jamara.
So, because my series is called the Inspiring DMV, who would you say inspires you and why?
A couple of my inspirations, the people that I really get inspired by, some people that I listen to every day, would be Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and of course Nip Hussle, the great neighborhood Nip, R.I.P. But those are like three people that I feel like I learned a lot from, that I didn't even know. Like, they taught me more than some of my OGs. And it's part of the morals and principles and some of the ways that I am now. I learned from them. But those are like the three main people that inspire me the most. Like, I'm racing in life to meet them.
So when you first started your clothing brand, did people believe in your vision?
I was about to say that. Nah, they did. Yeah, I hear PG. I'm about to say H-E-double hockey stick. Nah. A couple people actually, man, they really did. They told me, some people even confessed it to me now, like, yo, when you started this, I thought it was just a phase. And you know, around this time, a lot of people starting brands now. Like, this is the era where a lot of people seeing that it's a lot of money with brands. Ever since it was just like the epidemic, like from Eat, they see how Eat did it, they see how Madness is doing it, and now they seeing big brands, they seeing what you can do with it. So a lot of people was like, man, I thought this was just a fad. Like, I didn't think you was serious. Cause I told a lot of people when I came home from school, like, this is what I'm gonna do. And so now I'm getting more of a dag, bro, you really came home and you did exactly what you said you want to do. It's almost like that line with Nipsey Hussle when he was like, at first y'all thought I had it wrong, but now y'all thought I had it right. Well, now y'all know I got it right. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of people not believing me, man. Like, it's crazy. The U-turns that people is bucking right now, it's crazy.
Right, they showing love now.
Yeah, they showing big love now. It's ridiculous.
So when did you start?
I started 2 years ago. I'm only in my second year.
I started painting 2 years ago.
It's lit. Keep going. Look where you at. You got your thing going. I don't like to say, Lord, you got your big thing going right now. Like, this is major. You made your own lane, and now you're doing it up. All you gotta do is keep going. I started 2 years ago. I'll be in my third year, and I want to say September. It'll be a full 3 years since I started this. I graduated in.
My birthday is
Oh, for real? Oh, you lit. It's a win-win. But I graduated in 2017, and I started this, so it won't even be a full year. Actually, yeah, it'll still be going into 2 years. I won't be on my third year until that time.
Okay. So if you could give any advice to someone that's chasing their dreams, but people seem to doubt their ideas, what would that advice be?
Go with what you know. Go with your gut. If you know it's gonna rock. Like, even my parents are the type to believe in you. They believe in you tight. But it took my dad a while to understand, like, yo, this what you doing? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like, I had to show them a couple things before they knew I was serious. But my biggest advice for that was just to be, if you having you getting them clear visions and them clear dreams for a reason. Like, it's letting you know that it's attainable. Everybody not gonna see that. So I feel like as long as you go with your move and you put your head down and you stick with what you know and stick with what you're seeing, you know what I mean? If you stick to your script, you'll get there. And then people gonna start coming around. There's gonna be a lot of believing in you. Like, first I seen this quote, it say, first they gonna laugh at you, then they gonna be interested, then they gonna wanna support you, and then they gonna clap for you. And that's really how it went for me when I started this brand. So
that makes sense.
Get all that. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. So when people think about your brand, the campaign, what are the feelings and associations you want them to have?
I want them to be inspired. First off, I base my whole brand off inspiration. My definition of campaign means inspiring generation to gain sense of purpose. We want to equip them with the mindset of never complain and always campaign, everything the campaign way. So I just want them to be inspired to, like, your thing is art, that's your campaign.
All right.
So I just want them to be inspired to start something. You know what I mean? Whether you're a barber, basketball player, you want to be a judge, anything and everything we're doing is a campaign. So my biggest aspiration is to inspire as well as continue to drop this drip. You dig?
How has your work evolved since you began your own brand, the campaign?
My work? It's crazy. I'm really super busy. This is ridiculous. Like, it's the difference. I was the one that I said I ain't really want no 9 to 5. And I ain't knocking 9 to 5 because you got some 9 to 5s that's good, and there's some people dream to have a 9 to 5, which is cool. But I will say this: if you're gonna be a CEO, this is gonna be you ain't gonna have no 9 to 5. You gonna have a 24/7. Like it's like I don't get no breaks because everything pretty much revolves around me and my brand. So whether it's I'm dealing with a customer, I'm dealing with new designs, I'm shooting footage, and I like to be in on everything. So I know what I'm doing. I'm sitting there editing with the cameraman. I'm dealing with manufacturers. Just the whole 9 yards. Like it's just nonstop, and I got a nonprofit too, so it all tie together. You know what I mean? So it's like it's no breaks. It's every emotion, stress, fatigue. I go to bed early sometimes, get up at 6. I go to bed late sometimes, get up at 6, 7 o'clock. It's just like nonstop.
I can understand that. I did your painting for like 8 hours straight.
Yo, I was crazy. I said, hey, look. I told my girl, cause she was sitting next to me when I seen it, and I'm like, dog. She said this took her 8 hours, bro. I said, bro, somebody sat here and took. I'm impatient. Ain't no way in hell I'm sitting there 8 hours painting nobody. But that's what you love. That's what you do. But I'm just like I don't really feel like people really understand. Like I'm like, bro, she sat there for 8 hours and drew a picture, a portrait of me. Like that's big. I was stuck on that for 3 days. When people was talking to me about it, I made sure I put that in there. Like, yo, she took 8 hours to do this. Like this wasn't nothing quick. Like she took 8 hours. Like I was talking to my mom. She was. I called my mother. And she was like, I was geeking, mom. I'm not lying. I'm like, yo, she took 8 hours, mom. That's a full day's work. Like 8 hours. Like it's 8 hours, bro.
I didn't take a break.
So you took a straight 8 hours.
Yeah, I mean, just the restroom, but
that was about it. Did you eat? Did you drink? Did you take an energy drink?
I ate after. I mean, I drank water.
Did your back hurt?
I ate after. Yeah, I had surgery on my back, so it was definitely hurting.
Damn, she had surgery. See, now I gotta add that to the story. She had surgery and she took 8 hours to do this portrait. I was like, that's crazy. But that's a prime example. Like 8 hours. It's some days where when I first started, I would go into the factory and I would be in there all day and I would not eat. And I wouldn't really realize how long I was in there until my stomach started growling. I'm like, damn, I got in this joint today at like 10 o'clock. It's like 8, 9 o'clock now. But that's crazy, yo. 8 hours.
It was actually in color at first.
For real?
But it wasn't turning out correctly.
So you had to run it back?
Yeah. Yeah.
For real? Run it back how? I know this your interview, but how? Run it back. Run it back how?
It was in color, and it was like, so the color in pink, I was trying to make it like there's dark parts of your face and there's light parts in your face. And I was like, this is not turning out correctly.
For real?
And I already drew everything. I drew your nose, your eyes, everything. So I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, I should stop.
For real? Look, and it's gonna be like that with your own dream. You're gonna want to quit sometimes. It's like, yo, I'm sick of this. It's been so many times where I've been in the middle of dealing with my brand, and it's like, yo, I'm about to be done. I'm about to say after this, bro. Like I had so many ways I could just go run it up and do this, that, and the third.
Right.
But you didn't stop. It's like something good came from it, and now it's inspiring the DMV, and you got your whole, you put it together.
Cause when I was like, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna go to something else. So I was like, I had looked at my Barack Obama painting because I did a picture.
That was dope too. I seen that. That was tough.
It was in black and white. That was the first painting I ever did in black and white. So I was like, maybe it should just be in black and white.
That's when I knew you was tough. When you first DM'd me, I told my girl, because she was sitting right next to me. I'm like, yo, this girl said she painted a portrait of her. She was like, you ain't follow her? I'm like, no, I'm scared. I'm like, she young too, so I don't want to be on no creep stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I want to interact with her a little more. So she like, how you think it's gonna look? I'm like, I don't know. She like, you gonna shout her out? I'm like, yeah. I just hope it's hard. Like, I'm gonna shout anybody out that show me love. I just hope it's tough. Like, I don't want to post it and then be like, Damn, fool, that didn't look like you. So I was just waiting. It was like so many emotions. And then you was like, it was going to be here at this time at 12. You ain't posted at 12. I'm like, it probably wasn't that tough. Like, she probably was just like, forget about it. Like, so
I opened the door, I was like, hey, that's J. Cole boyfriend.
She said, oh my God. Every time I showed, because in school, I had AP Studio Art, so every time you do a painting, you gotta do a critique. So I was asking my friends, like, does this look like him? And everyone knew you as J. Cole boyfriend. Like, J. Cole, I should not be the other boyfriend. I said, no, this is why I'm doing it. This, that, and third. And it was like, yeah, it looks like him. I said, should I change anything? No, you shouldn't. I said, y'all gassing me up.
Nah, and she said that too. I told her, I'm like, when I first seen it, I was so excited that I felt like the fact that I'm excited that somebody drew a portrait of me is wavering what I really think it looked like. Like, I really thought it looked like me, but I'm like, all right, nah, bro, maybe you just too hyped and it don't really look like you. So I'm like, yo, this look like me? She like, oh yeah, this look like me. And you know what I mean? It's just like give me bragging rights, because you know, it's like, as I've been going now, people are starting to know me. At first it was a lot of, oh, that's J. Cole boyfriend, this, that, and third. I didn't really care. I mean, my lady doing her thing, like, it's lit. She killing it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's me, like, that's my shawty. But now I've been more of the, oh, that's the campaign boy, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, hey, Mom. She like, I'm like, yeah, it's usually you, people drawing you. Now I got portraits too, shawty. And she believe in me more than me sometimes. She like, I don't know why you be surprised. Like, I be telling you, you're an inspiration to your city. Like, your brand is bigger than what you realize. Like, it's been, ever since Channel 5 News and all the way up until now, it's just been, I'll be getting campaign, man. Ain't you the boy with the brand? Ain't you? So you just added on to the hype of, now somebody hit me, yo, ain't you the campaign boy that drew that portrait? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So it's like, upon that, I'm like, damn, this really look like, I looked at that jump like 2-3 days straight. I got to the part where she was getting annoyed. She was playing getting annoyed, like, Malik, I know you're not sitting there looking at that portrait. I'm like, dog, this is really me. She got the crown and everything, like, then everybody just started hitting me. Like, it's like a whole momentum wave, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, damn.
That takes me to my next question, which is, what is your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part about what I do is just no limits. There's really no limit to what I could do. I could spin my brain so many different ways. Campaigning is so universal. Everybody in the world, it's not one person in the world that don't know what a campaign is or not familiar with that word. I could spin it to the point where, cause I'm from Southeast 19th from Minnesota, I could spin it to where, you know what I mean, I'm inspiring these youngins that's from around my way or from around the South Side or DC in general, inspiring them to get their campaign rolling. I could turn it into a campaign fest. When we come up, like, you know how they got Broccoli City Festival, I could spin it off with my brand, Pay It Forward Foundation, and let them know this is a part of our campaign too, to uplift the community and to bring the community up. It's nothing I can't do with my brand and with the name. Like, there's no limit to what I can do. And the biggest part for me is of course, I like the clothes. I like the recognition. I like a lot of what I'm doing. I got a lot going right now. It's gonna be a lot. I can't say too much. But May 1st, just make sure y'all go support me. I got a lot. It's gonna be a big bomb dropping in May. Make sure y'all go support me. But I love the support. I love the recognition. I love the portrait. But the biggest thing that got me was the inspiration. Like the inspiring DMV that spoke more to me, because it's like, damn, like, I'm really inspired. Like when you was like, yo, like, you really, and I told you, I was like, damn, that's dope. Like, I can't wait to see it. You also, I just want to keep inspiring, keep pushing the culture forward. You was like, yeah, that's what you're doing. That probably mean more to me than like anything, like just being an inspiration. And told you, I feel like there's nothing bigger than that for real. Other than me being limitless to what I could do.
So thinking back to the night I sent you the message to say that I was doing a painting of you. I was gonna post it tomorrow. So I didn't think you were gonna respond. People tag him so you can see it. So that's just a message.
Listen, go ahead, my fault.
And I had said that I was uploading a painting of you my auntie sent aged me. She was like, I was like, he responded, and I'm not gonna post the video right now. She was like, you spoke too soon. You spoke too soon.
Listen, man, I'm not the bougie type. This time last year, yo, I had like, I probably had like 5,000 followers, and I was the same dude. Like, I don't really feel like, I get why you say that though. Just me being in this business and being around, you know, more Instagram celebrities or more celebrities, period. A lot of people, it do cause them to act different. But if I see stuff like that, I feel like that could make the big difference. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that just can turn everything up. So if I see it, I definitely respond. Now, don't get me wrong, I got 99 plus in my DMs. And it's like, I get what they going through, because you would check it one day, like say if it's 99 plus, I'll knock out like 20 DMs before I go to sleep. And then I'll wake up and then it'd be like 99 plus again. And I'm like, ain't no way. Like, I get to that later. Like, I got stuff to do. So we moving. So your DM came in, and this was God, because your DM came in at the time where I was checking my DMs. I'm like, all right, let me check my DMs. Like, I ain't checked them in a while. People think you bougie, this, that, and the third. But no, I ain't the bougie type. If I see it, I'm gonna respond. I pride myself on that. Pride myself on responding, because I know a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? That could just, people want to correlate with you. They want to feel like they can relate to you. They just want to talk to you and associate with you. Same thing we all want to do. Because there's people that's bigger than me that I feel the same way about. Like, and there's people that's bigger than the people on Instagram or bigger than the celebrities that we all feel a way about that. Like we all want to feel like we can relate to this person. We all want to converse. We all just want to feel connected to this person in some type of way. So me knowing that, that's like one of the motivations and why I do respond. And I do. And then you drew a painting, like, come on, bro. I keep saying that, but it's like, come on, bro, you drew a painting. Like, I'm not going to not respond to this. Like, I want to see what this show is doing. And I didn't think it was going to be a portrait. Like, I thought it was like some art class painting jump. Like, I didn't think it was going to be what it was going to be. Like, I'm just thinking it was like, somebody take a picture and just draw a little picture of you. Like, I'm like, oh, like, and then from your picture, you don't look, I don't want to say you look too young, but I pretty much know in age, like,
it's in my bio.
When I'm looking.
Right, you see, yeah.
It's in my bio.
It's in your bio? 18?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you was like 16, 17 when I first seen your face, like from your, because I ain't go straight to your page. Mm-hmm. I was checking my DMs, so I'm just like, oh, that's dope. Like, and I just told my like, yo, this girl said she drew a picture of me. And we had that whole conversation. And then it was, from there on, I just went on back into checking my DMs. So I was just like, all right, bet, this probably just like some little painted stuff. But then when I seen it, I'm like, oh damn, this is everything I thought it wasn't. Like, oops, this lit, my bad. Straight up.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, you studied at PG Community College.
I did research.
You went to Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Shawty did her research. We need more of that, bro. Pick up a book, Google it, Google me. You can research everything. Keep that, bro.
You majored in mass communications and you played basketball. So during your journey so far, well, up to this point, when did you decide, hey, I want to make my own clothing line?
I don't even, to be honest with you, a lot of people say it, and I get why you say it, because I am a clothing brand. I don't even like the word clothing line. I feel like I'm so much bigger than that. I feel like nothing really describes me more than a brand. Like, I'm a lifestyle brand. But I was always into fashion. Even when I was playing, even when I thought I was going to the league, like I was like, I'm going to have a brand no matter what it is. Like, whether I gotta wait to get some basketball money to start my brand, I always wanted to get into fashion. And I always wanted to inspire. Like, I feel like I just always had the gift of inspiration. Like, I just connect with people. So I always wanted to do that. No matter what it was, I knew I was going to inspire, and I knew I was going to have a clothing brand. So when I was at school, I'm just like, man, I'm just about to start my brand, like right here. Like, I'm getting bored. Like, if it ain't basketball in school, I feel like I'm wasting my time. So I was like, let me start my brand now. Somebody just got a bucket. And one. But I feel like I'm wasting my time, so I started my brand. And when I first came home, I was still chasing the basketball dream. I actually got a contract to go play in Brazil, but I had tore my meniscus. While I was in basketball, while I was playing during season, I was tearing my meniscus. I went to a major D2, but it wasn't a major D1, so I had to continue to play through injury to get looked at. So I came home in a week before, 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave, my meniscus had torn fully. So I had to get a meniscus. You needed it in your knee. You needed to jump high. You needed to cut. You needed to spin. You needed to do everything, basically concerning my sport. And so I had to get it fixed. And they told me surgery was the last option. So I did the rehab for 4 months. It brought me to January. And then I was feeling good. Then it started tearing again. They was like, all right, now you gotta get surgery now. I was like, the hell with this. But that whole time I was building my brand up as well, because you know, when you come home from school, I got the parents that's parents. I don't really got the parents that's, well, I live with my pop, but, well, I lived with my pop, but I ain't really had parents that feel like once you get to a certain age, their job is done. Like, your job as a parent guardian is never done. So it was rough because it was like, yo, you gotta get your own bread. Like, you're a grown man now. So I started my brand, and my brand was just to continue to keep me afloat. Like, I was just staying above water. Like, I wasn't balling. Like, I was frugal. I was making it work. Between that, and I had got a job at FedEx for 3 months. So I was doing FedEx, basketball, and continuing to push my brand for 3 months, and I quit because I couldn't take it. Like I said, it wasn't me, but I was just doing everything I could to get it cracking, like continue to support my business and continue to support my dream. I had to pay for basketball workouts. I had to pay for strength training. So, you know, I was kind of bleeding money. But through all that, I had my brand, and it was just like, I know I'm prolonging this answer, but I'm just trying to make it make sense. Up until that, I felt like God just really kept giving me ideas. And the ideas he was giving me, I was really throwing off, like, I'm playing ball, like, later for all that. So I just started putting it together. And then once the meniscus thing happened again, I just was like, man, I got something good right here. This is what I'm doing. So I just put my head down and went with it. But I always knew, I got so many dreams, even outside the campaign. But I always had so many dreams that I knew it was going to be all this. I just didn't really know how or when.
Okay, so I didn't write this down.
What's up?
But, so, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but you went to Honduras?
There you go, Honduras. Yeah, I went to Honduras.
So, and you was talking to kids and you gave them your brand, your shirts, and the headbands and stuff like that. So how was that? That was lit.
Like I said, I actually want to do more of that. I got more of that coming up. But Honduras is a third world country. America, over here in America, they say it's the most dangerous country to go to. They need a lot over there. So it was good. Of course, the country is beautiful. Like, fresh air, fresh water. Like, it smells way better over there than it smell over here. Like, and you can feel and tell the difference. But it was dope because them kids, everything we take for granted over there, over there, they don't take nothing for granted. Like, you can give a kid a pen and he'll look at you like you just gave him $1 million. Like, they really don't have it over there. Like, they don't have bathrooms, none of that. It's just, you gotta see it to understand it. Like, it's vicious over there. You know what I mean? It ain't so bad. We look at it over there because it's a third world country, but it's really like, if you just come to the dirtiest part of DC, it's worse. It's way worse. But you know what I mean? That's probably the closest correlation that I can give. Like, they tell you don't go over there. And really, we can tell people don't come over here. Like, the percentages over here is rising again. I don't know if people woke or not, but percentages in DC of murders is rising and rising again. So it's the same. But all in all, it was a dope experience. I would tell anybody to go. Of course, plan it out, be smart. But those are the life-changing experiences and the stuff that just change your whole concept and your whole mind and your whole outlook on life. And just give you more. But it felt good because them kids, like, they just looked at you with so much joy, stuff like that. So it was love. I want to go back. And they still keep in contact with me. Like, I met a boxer over there. I met a couple people. They still talk to me through Instagram. Be like, yo, they call me Papi because, you know, they Spanish. They say Papi or Primo, like brother, stuff like that. Right. They check on me. I talked to this one guy. he just got a girlfriend. He building a house now. So he told me he's building out, like, they really got to build their house. Like, that's really how it is over here. He said, I just finished my roof. I'm working on the inside now. I was like, yo, keep going, bro. If I can do, when I get in a position, scrape up some more of these ends, you know what I mean, run up this equity and get this money up, I'm definitely going to come help y'all where I can help. So that was super dope.
Okay, so like you said, I did my research, and it said that you've been to 15 states.
Damn, where you get this information from? That's crazy.
It said you've been to 15 states, so where do you want to go that you haven't?
It's probably more now because I can jump state to state. I want to go to Detroit. I want to go to Flint. I want to get their water together for them. I don't know if you've seen the garbage about us raising money for that wall. They raised like what, 100 mil, almost a bill. It only take $14 million to get Flint water back on straight. If I wanted to be of help and of service, I would go to Detroit. If I wanted to go enjoy myself, I would probably go to LA or probably go to Seattle, somewhere I've never been before.
Okay, so I don't think no one has all the answers when you're starting something new.
Right.
So what would you say was the biggest rookie mistake when you started your business?
Yo, I was just telling these dudes this at the jail. I went to go talk to them. The biggest mistake I ever made was I messed my re-up up. That's probably the biggest mistake. I know that's probably not as deep of an answer as you probably wanted me to give, but it's an important answer because, yo, if you don't have money, nothing moves. Even if you want to help somebody, it's almost only so much you can do. I told you I worked at FedEx, right? Mm-hmm. This is when I knew I really had something. I dropped some sweatsuits. They was $125. I sold out all my sweatsuits in a month. It brought me up to a total of like $9,500 between $10,000. I made that in 1 month, in the month of February. I quit my job after that because I ain't like how my manager was talking to me. I'm like, bro, I had to sit there and think, like, I just made 10 racks this month. You're really talking to me like I'm making more than you gonna make this month. Like, I'm gone. So I left. And ain't nobody gonna spend money faster than somebody who never had it. I never got $10,000 on my own, had it all in my possession, looking at it in my face. Southeast, I've never had that much money before. I had some financial literacy, but clearly not enough, not as much as I have now. And so I blew it. I was at Neiman Marcus, I was at Ruth Chris, I was eating good. Like, this is really fumbling all my bread, and I look up and I'm down to probably about $2,000, and I can't even tell you where all the money went, but the more money you get, the more stuff they got for you to spend it on. So the biggest mistake I probably was, I messed my re-up up, and I was down. Luckily, they noticed now, and they ain't noticed until 2 weeks ago. Luckily, I had a right-hand man, I call him Scratty. Before he went to jail, he was like, yo, I'm trying to get out these streets, bro. Like, I like what you're doing. You got something. I want to go in with you. I'm like, all right, give me a couple racks. In my mind, I was stressing because I'm like, yo, I don't have no money to re-up. Manufacturers won't even deal with you unless you're putting up a certain amount of bread because they taking big orders. And I didn't have the bread, so I was panicking. And he came and gave me a couple racks, and my cousin did the same thing. My cousin's like my brother. Chef Reed, he gave me some racks too, and neither one of them knew the type of position I was in. I was making it seem as so like, I mean, yeah, come on, like they hit me like, yo, I'm gonna get you the money, this, that, and the third, and I'm like, all right, like I'm acting like I really don't care, like I'm putting it in this perspective as if I'm good, but I really was drowning. Like I don't know what my next move is. I'm about to have to go back to FedEx and say sorry real quick. So that was probably the biggest mistake I made, and it taught me so much after that. Like, I'm completely different.
If you could go back and tell yourself one thing before beginning your career, well, your brand or anything, what would it be?
I'd have started sooner. I'd have listened to my vision sooner, because the visions of my brand, I was having that for like 3 months before I actually went and did what I was thinking of doing. But I would tell myself, you on the right track. You on the right track, bro. Your head in the right place. You already got the keys and you got the principles. Don't mess up your money. Don't mess up your 10 racks that you're gonna make in February. And I would tell myself to just go with what you know, go with your visions, because one thing about me now is like, now that campaign is doing what it's doing, I get so many more visions, and I see my vision so clear and so vividly that I know it's gonna happen. And so I'm moved now. That's why I'm so busy, because I'm moving on everything that comes to mind. I'm thinking it out. I'm doing my research like how you do. I'm doing my research. I'm planning. I'm setting my pieces up, and I'm moving forward with it. And it might not happen in the time that I want it to happen in, or when I feel like it should happen. But if I stick to my script and stick to my visions and what I know, stuff will be all right. So I just tell myself just to keep going, bro. And I start what I started now a little bit sooner.
Okay. So what would you like to achieve before the end of the year?
Before the end of the year?
Yeah.
All right. Dang. It's actually, so I wrote my goals out. First thing I'm gonna tell you, get you some goals, write them down. That's real. My father told me that my whole life. I never listened to him. I never seen the effects of what it could do until this year when I did it. I got probably about 15 goals. I probably achieved already 4 on my list, and we just got out the first quarter of the month. But I want to make
you a basketball player.
Nah. Major collab with a big brand. So like a Nike, a Puma, an Adidas, just any big brand that you could think of that's been here and that's doing it. I want to get this program moving. It's a program for children. Of course, we're gonna start through the DMV area, and then we're gonna try to work our way through the East Coast. Right now, I got a little name for it. It's called Youth Worldwide. It's just a little corny name I came up with because I couldn't really think of nothing else. I want to put it in perspective so kids could take trips and take adventures to different states. I feel like the best wisdom and knowledge you're gonna get is gonna come from traveling, and inspiration that's coming from experience. I feel like that's the biggest difference between me and my boys. I mean, we all grew up around the same way, all had the same circumstances, but I was a little bit different. So for the kids, we want to take them to state, and eventually we want to take them from country to country. Of course, I don't want them to pay for it. So basically just broaden their horizon and stuff like that. But I want to take strides and walks into getting that started for the kids and getting into it in a program and things like that. By the end of the year, I want my own sneaker. By the end of the year, I also want to, there's another program for the kids, but I want to put into fruition different types of camps and different types of things to get, to make us more smart, whether it be financial literacy, just showing us different types of things like dreams and goals and stuff like that, that will bring purpose and that will bring children to kind of know what they want to do. I want to buy my first house. My fiscal year is February for what I started. So by December, of course, I want to be moved into my own house, buy my first property, and I want to possibly key in on a building where I'm going to put my store.
Are you going to stay here?
What?
In the DMV?
Yeah, I'm not leaving home. I don't really feel like there's nowhere else for me to go. I feel like God got me here right now, and that's where He want me. Anywhere that I would move to, it would just be for my own selfish reasons. But I feel like what I'm doing and what I'm bringing to fruition is meant to start right here at home. Like my first store, God just brought to my eyes that my first store should be in my hood. I always said I would put it in Southeast. I just didn't know. But now I know the building that I'm gonna put it in. I already checked when the lease is up for them. So I just want to move into position to, as soon as that building comes up, I can go grab it. I can go right to the bank. And I want to make sure my credit score is good. It's terrific now, but I want to make sure that it stay there, so that I'm in position to continue to do what I'm doing and bring everything to fruition.
Well, I have the painting here. Oh
Painting.
my gosh.
Painting.
Painting. I'm going to say it right.
Painting.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Anything? Yo, you got my temp fade. You got the crown, you got my eyebrows, my mustache, my chin hair. I ain't gonna hold just a little bit more hair right here, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You got art museum. I love art. I feel like it's underappreciated. I feel like it's undervalued.
Thank you.
Nah, no doubt. Like, I just bought some art from this dude. It was like a stat. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna be back for it, bro. I'm not lying to you. Like, I don't have no problem spending money on stuff that I mean hold value, but I'm gonna put this up. This is gonna go on my art wall, yo. Like, I'm waiting for my store. I'm gonna put this in my store. The only thing I probably add to this is a gold frame. That's right, all I add to it.
I beat him because he inspires me. He's doing everything that I want to do because I want to have my own brand and stuff. So then that's when I was like, the Inspiring DMV, I should do a series.